Hi everybody, it's Kimberly here. Well, today Trump is supposedly leaving or has left the White House. I believe they're possibly through packing, I don't know. He's technically still the president until noon tomorrow, which is the 20th. And he's been spending his time doing a lot of pardons and sentence commutations, which that's a traditional thing at the end of a presidency. That's a lot of presidents do that anyway. Allegedly, a lot of his friends and political donors and people who have access to him through, I don't know, some kind of interest with him, they'll be getting pardons. But it's originally it should be used for people who've had an injustice in their sentencing or have served enough time and are being given a second chance. But a lot of his pardons are going to go to friends and allies and people he's politically connected to or whatever. But that's nothing new with him. And he will be out officially. His term is over noon tomorrow. And then Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be sworn in after noon. And the inaugural address will come after that. But for the inauguration, it's going to be pretty unpopulated. There's possibly going to be a certain number of people that are allowed, and it's not going to be a huge crowd like it normally is. It's going to be surrounded by guards and, with everything that's going on. A lot of restrictions, a lot of security, and everything is going to be very scaled down, just bare bones skeleton crew of everything. And it's, because of the pandemic, it was going to be scaled down anyway, but with what happened with Capitol riots, this is like a security concern. They've gotten a lot of threats, all kinds of threats, and so that's, it's really sad. It's just a horrible, sad situation, that's happening right now in our nation. And at this time, that this celebration, or whether you voted for him or not, just the decency of the outgoing president to present the White House and a tour and everything like normal, it can't be done because of Trump is sulking because he lost, so that's really it's just an unbelievable kind of behavior to me. I just don't know what to say about it. Childish, and just really ruins it, I think, for the incoming president, whether you voted for them or not. It's the tradition of passing on democracy, from one president to the next, no matter whether you're Republican or Democrat or anything. It has nothing to do with your political party. It's a celebration of our democracy. We vote these people in. And, well, this year's going to be just completely different. Well, Biden has also, he's got a list of executive orders that he wants to perform on, I think, the first 10 days. And some of them are to reverse the travel ban from Muslim countries, which, that was stopped by Trump, or put in place by Trump. And we're going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord, which Trump pulled us out of that. And Biden has a face mask mandate for federal property, but he's also going to try to implement a not mandatory but voluntary face mask for 100 days to try to get the pandemic under control a little bit more. And he's also going to halt evictions do something about that, I think, for another 30 or 60 days or something. I don't know. I don't know the real details. We really don't know completely. But these are the outline of some of the things they're going to do. The greatness of the detail will be, it'll be in his address. We'll get more information, really from the horse's mouth, from him, right then. And he's also going to extend the pause on the student loans. They've been paused for a moment, but he's going to try to extend that. I don't know for how long. And there's supposed to be 100 million vaccinations in 100 days. That's what he's pushing for. So we'll see if that gets done also. And there's going to be a immigration bill, which this is going to have to go through Congress actually in order to be implemented. But he wants to make it a pathway to citizenship for immigrants that are undocumented. It's an 8-year pathway, and they've got to, jump through the hoops and do everything, in order to get their citizenship. And there's also a fast-track citizenship pathway that he's working on for dreamers. Those are the ones that came into the country from their parents, illegally crossing the border, and I guess mostly illegally crossing the border would have to be. Maybe one of the parents may be a citizen, or maybe both are not citizens. Stopping the Keystone Pipeline is going to be really important for the Native American tribes in the area that it's going through, which I think is Montana, South Dakota, and Nebraska. I'm thinking that it's going to extend to Oklahoma. I'm not sure if it goes through, but the permit on it's going to be halted, and I don't know if that's going to be permanent or they've been fighting for about 10 years, because there's treaties on this land, and it's invading their rightful land from the treaties, and they have a right to use that land. And at least something, even if it's temporary, they've been filing lawsuits and trying to get something done with this. It started up in Alberta, Canada, and goes all the way down through the U.S. It's a massive pipeline. It's called the Keystone XL pipeline. It's huge. If you've ever seen pictures of it, it's massive. And that's one of the things that he has promised to do. And ending the border emergency, which there's a lot of people that are traveling to the border since Trump is going out, and it started a huge migration of illegal alien, I don't want to say that, immigration, I guess. They're trying to, with hopes of immigrating, or not immigrating, I don't know if immigrating or passing through illegally. I don't know what's going to happen or what the plan is. It's just a mass of people that are coming towards the border again, and we already had one mass convoy to the border before, but this one I think is in anticipation that the immigration policy is going to help them. So some of those people may be trying to do it legally, and then of course there's always the influx of the illegal alien. The fence is not keeping everybody out, and they're trying to, because of the pandemic, and it's just, it's a wreck for every country. The pandemic is really hard on a lot of these other countries too, not just America, especially a lot of the countries that don't have as much governmental help, or people are really struggling, and so they see, the pathway to a better life is by coming over the border. And that immigration bill, like I say, it's going to have to go through Congress. It's going to take a lot of, I think that's probably, to me, it looks like that's going to be a little bit of a struggle for him to get that through. And they're going to have to really, that's going to take a lot of work on that before it ever gets implemented, I really believe. And I do think it will, some form of it will be put into place, but they're going to have to hammer out a lot. They're going to have to do a lot of work on that. And We're also supposed to rejoin the World Health Organization, which Trump pulled us out of that. And he wants to stop federal executions. I think I heard a couple of different things. I believe it was 17 years that there hasn't been a federal execution, except for in the last 6 or 7 months. There was, I don't remember what the number was, like 10 or a dozen or something. I think since like June, they've, in the Trump administration. But for about 17 years, there had been no federal executions. But he restarted them in this last summer, and so Biden is going to stop those. And he's also going to end the military transgender ban, allowing transgender people to perform their duties in the service without any kind of discrimination, which I think that is a forward way. And I think there's going to be, well, the stimulus bill. Now that's the big deal. That also, he's got to work on that, do something with that, and it was not included in. That is totally different than the executive orders of what he's going to do. The stimulus bill is just a huge part of his job that he's already promised, and it has to be worked out, of course, with the new Congress. It's Democrat controlled, so I'm thinking that it's not going to take as long, but it's still going to have to be, there's still going to have to be, work on that, and arguments, and, back and forth, I'm sure. But those are the main things that he's going to try to do through executive order, plus the stimulus bill. So tomorrow, we're just going to see how fast he gets on this, and throughout the day, there's a lot of ceremony, and it starts in the very beginning of the morning, I think about 7 or 7:30, and there's some, I think, entertainment. I was hearing something about Jennifer Lopez, and I don't know, it's all scaled down, but there is going to be some, it's not going to be just him giving a speech. There is going to be some sort of ceremony, and it's not going to be, I want to say, as well, there's not going to be a crowd, so there's going to be certain people that he has invited that I think there's like a list of like maybe 1,000 or something. I mean, it's just going to be sparsely populated with who they have picked to be allowed to be invited. And I'm going to work tomorrow. I won't get to see it. I wanted to see it, but I'm going to check it out at lunchtime. I don't know about the time difference. I mean, I don't know about the actual schedule, of what each event is going to take place. But I'm just waiting for tomorrow and see what happens. And possibly if he's going to even do anything the day after when he gets in office, if he's going to start on these executive orders immediately the day after. I'm hoping. I mean, he seems like he really wants to get things done. He said in a 10-day span to get all these executive orders out, and plus rolling out with the vaccine and doing all this all at once. It's a task for him. He's going to be, talk about having to work your butt off, like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest to me, doing all this. We'll see how he does. Okay, thank you all. Thank you so much.